But that's going to come in time. Once we get this to do a little more than we do have it doing right now, it's going to be able to take anybody asking that question, and then it'll spit out how many tickets they have. But this is a really good start. This demonstrates... Oh, you know what? It might help actually, just to make sure everybody can read this. Let's grow this a little bit, and then something that I didn't think of, and I apologize for. Let's change our preferences. Let's bump our font size up to 16. All right, there we go. That will hopefully be legible to anybody. And I apologize if it was hard to read before now. This is, again, is our main function down here. And this is the demonstration of just a simple hello world, a hello to a person set by a variable, and then the same thing, so hello to the person set by the variable, plus a number. And so that, and so this should be, it's a good start. This is really the, it's the foundation. This is, everybody needs a starting point, and just like the first line of any story, this is the first line of an actual program. You have to have a starting point. In this case, it's always going to be the public static void main with string args. Oh, and since I haven't mentioned it yet, having two square brackets like this means that this is an array, which can hold more than one variable, and you can use the square brackets to actually determine which of them you are referencing, 0 through however big it ends up being. And hello, Princess Rika. It's good to have you join us. And again, just to say it again too, I do apologize to anybody if they followed me. I believe I have it set up, but I'm not positive. That might be what is causing my screen to go black. I'm not sure. It's something we're going to play with, I think, off of stream, or maybe after the stream, something like that. But we'll get to that. Arrays are awful. Well, yeah, you generally would probably want to use classes instead. There's, what are the other options? There's linked lists, or you can use hash maps, or, I mean, arrays are just, one of the annoying things I've always found about arrays is that every language handles it a little differently. In C++ and Java, for example, they start at 0, and in some other languages, like I used Cold Fusion during the day, that starts at 1. Now that doesn't sound like a big deal, but it does make a difference, and it does make it a little weird, I suppose, when you're moving between a lot of languages, that all these little inconsistencies, like, to go back to my example with string, Cold Fusion doesn't care about case sensitivity. I could make every other letter capitalized, and it would accept it. It just knows what it is. But Java and C++ are very case sensitive, which allows you to do some things like int z equals 7. These two are different variables. That does not overwrite that, which personally I think is silly, but it does help you name variables, but at the same time it allows you to do things like string user name, and this is a separate variable, and to see those two things at the same time, it's silly. It's not necessary, but at the same time I understand why they did it, and it's just one of those things that you have to get used to. There are a lot of collection types. That's true. There are other collection types that I'm not thinking of, and they're almost always better than arrays. Vectors. Yeah, vectors are good. It's been a long time since I used them. But arrays are the basic one. They're what people have a tendency to use, and nothing we're doing is hopefully going to be that intense that even then they aren't they aren't capable of being used. We'll probably look into using both of them. We might watch my own resource monitor to see if it really has any major effect. Of course, we're probably not going to have that big a stream that it makes a huge difference, but we'll see what we can, and we'll try and figure it out. And if we're seeing anything that's a major problem, we'll come back and try something else. So, public int. So, let's write a new function too while we're here. We have our nice void main, which is what runs when the program runs. And then, what should we do? Let's just do something where it just prints out. Actually, this is going to be void, and we're going to print variables. Well, is it going to be variables, or should it just be? Let's just make it print. Since we have this variable x, which is a private variable, but it's available to the whole class, we're going to have it print x. So it doesn't need to take anything. So curly brackets are what denote what's within a function, and you'll see that this is what changes what's here. This all belongs to public void print x. This belongs to public static void main, and this belongs to the Hello World app, which is our constructor. So, like I said, we're going to make this really simple. Oops, print ln. We don't even need that. We just need x. So now what I should be able to do is call print x. Oh, I need to capitalize it. And now, let's compile it. Interesting, non-static method. So if I look static void. I don't remember what static means, unfortunately. This is all, unfortunately, part of the reason this is rusty to me is that I don't remember what all of this means, and static is something that's eluding me at the moment, which maybe one of our users can cue me in on, and I can always look it up. Man, this is a private variable. Non-static variable x cannot be referenced from a static context. Users are already laughing at me. Oh, man. So, and this is one of the things that you get when you change languages a lot, is that there's all sorts of little syntax differences that are unique to that language. And in this case, this, like if I'm remembering correctly, like the static thing isn't in C++. Instantiate a Hello World app and call printx on it. Oh, yeah. So let's see, this is a Hello World app, which is a variable type. So we're going to do Hello World app, and then we're going to do test app, and then we're going to do test app dot print x. And does that actually? It just sets x to whatever it is, to 1. So, okay, let's save it. Try that. That is still not liking that. Yes, this might not have to be static in order for me to do that. Might not have been initialized. Really? I am so good at this. Static tends to mean something like it exists as part of the class and not as part of an object, an instance of the class. So in this case, that means that public static void main is not specifically part of public class hello world app. Oh, that's the man. So we're going to cut that, and we're going to set this equal to that. Cannot find symbol? I think that looks familiar. Oh, new. My goodness. That certainly looks familiar. It's been a while. And I forget if I said hello, GameFox. It is good to see you, and I hope you didn't rush back too much. That's fine. Like I said, I did mention it before. Of course, you missed it. We are going to be saving these videos from today on. I goofed and did not have auto archive set up. It is set up now, and I spent a few minutes before the stream technically started reviewing what we did on Monday. So this does look right to me. I mean, no, cannot find symbol variable test app. Do I need to do that? That was it. Possibly. Now we're going to see what that does. There it is. Okay. So let's go through all this. Let's check out our terminal here. Wish I could lock these actually. So hello world, is that hello world there? Hello Dagenham is this one here. And then user Dagenham has 8 tickets. User Dagenham has 8, which is up here, tickets. And then hello world app test app equals a new hello world app. And that instantiates our own class, which is defined up here, and has this constructor. So every time it's called, it initializes x to 1. And then once that's initialized, we then call it down here with the function we created here. So now that we have that, main is just the sort of entrance point to the program. Yep, it's a bit awkward because Java pretends everything is part of a class, but main really isn't. Yeah, that's true, and this is all because I'm so rusty. Z looks like 0. Oh, yeah, I apologize. My settings probably aren't high enough. It's let's just bump that up to, well, let's change it to, what should we do? What's unique enough? How about 14? Let's change it to 14. And then this is to demonstrate that this is a capitalized Z, and this demonstrates the capitalized N. I'll look into upping my my resolution of it for next time. I think we had it turned down because we were playing console games, and it was lagging a lot because the frame rate's so high, and we can only stream at so high a bit rate. So because we're not sponsored, so little wonky there. I do apologize. Actually, now that I think about it, I wonder if it's because I've shifted that off screen. There we go. All right, so we've got some basic functions here. Let's continue with some basic functions. And let's do a public void set x. And that's going to take an int of, let's call it new x, because it's better to have variables that are descriptive of what they're doing. So that way you don't have to guess as to what they're doing, and you can just look at them and get it. Getting rusty really hurts. The boilerplate stuff and things like that don't work. Everything else, I know it's so hard to do this and look like I have no idea what I'm doing because I'm just so rusty on it. But hopefully I'll be able to pick this up again really quickly. And I mean, I'm already I'm feeling a lot better for it. So in this case, we have new x. So we're just going to set x equal to new x here. And this x, of course, is this x here. So if we call test app.setX, and let's give it a 17, and then test app